The most dangerous time in your trading career is not when you are on a losing streak. It is not during a market crash. It is not when the news is bad. The most dangerous time in your entire financial life is precisely 5 seconds after your biggest winning streak. You think the threat is out there. You believe that trading accounts are destroyed by one massive dramatic event, like a sudden collapse in the market or a completely unforeseeable black swan. The industry wants you to believe this. It makes for a great story. It makes you feel like a brave warrior fighting a dragon. But dragons do not kill traders. Mosquitoes do. Your account will not blow up in a ball of fire. It will slowly bleed out in a quiet room, while you convince yourself you are doing everything right. Amateurs spend 90% of their energy looking for the perfect indicator, the secret entry model, the mathematical holy grail that will finally make the market make sense. Professionals do not care about any of that. Professionals spend all their energy eliminating the silent psychological friction that slowly, quietly robs you blind. A professional edge is not defined by what you do. It is defined by what you strictly refuse to do. You are a rational human being. You are smart enough to learn a complex financial system, but you are operating a primitive brain inside a digital casino designed by mathematicians who want your money. You are completely outgunned. Here are the 6 ways you are quietly destroying your own success without even noticing. You find a setup. It looks decent. It is not exactly what your trading plan demands, but it is close. You take the trade. The market moves against you. Your stop loss is sitting right there, exactly where you logically decided it should be, before you put your money at risk. But the price gets closer to that red line. Your chest gets a little tight. You tell yourself the market just needs a little more room to breathe. You drag that stop loss down. Just 3 little pips, just a tiny fraction of a percent. It is a completely logical thought process. You are just giving the trade space to work out. You are managing the risk dynamically. The market takes your money anyway. This is the justification of micro slippage. It is the lie of just this once. In the moment, moving a stop loss a few pennies or sizing up your position just a tiny bit because you feel confident feels absolutely harmless. You are a flexible thinker, adjusting to live data. The math does not care about your flexibility. Over a sample size of 100 trades, these tiny little compromises completely destroy the mathematical expectancy of your entire system. You spend weeks backtesting a strategy to prove it has an edge. Then you sit down at the live market and start negotiating with it. A computer does not negotiate. A computer executes code. When you bend your rules just a little bit, you are no longer trading your proven system. You are trading your emotions disguised as logic. You are burning your own money to avoid the mild discomfort of a planned exit. Treat your system like a machine. A machine has no feelings. Then there is the floating numbers problem. You are in a trade. It is moving. What are you looking at? You are not looking at the structure of the market. You are not looking at the support levels or the resistance zones. You are staring directly at the unrealized profit and loss number at the bottom of your screen. It flashes green. $50. $100. Your brain floods with dopamine. You start thinking about what that money buys. Groceries. A nice dinner. But then it ticks down to $80. Panic sets in. The market is stealing your dinner. You close the trade early just to capture that green feeling, completely ignoring the fact that the chart was still moving in your favor. Then you take another trade. It immediately flashes red, -$50. Your brain completely freezes. This is no longer a chart pattern. This is a threat to your physical survival. You refuse to close the trade because closing it means the red number becomes permanent. You tell yourself it will turn around. You hold a losing trade for 3 hours, sweating through your shirt, praying to a financial god you do not believe in. You are trading your wallet. You are a biological creature built for the savannah. When you see your resources depleting in real time, your brain screams at you to hold on tighter. You are not greedy. You are not stupid. You are acting exactly how millions of years of evolution designed you to act. You are trying to survive, but survival instincts in a financial market will bankrupt you. Hide the money. Put a piece of physical tape over your screen if you have to. If you are managing your trade based on the dollar amount swinging back and forth, you are already lost. You must manage the trade based entirely on where the candles close. The money is just a side effect of following the chart. This brings us to the great lie of excitement. If your trading feels exciting, you are almost certainly gambling. Movies and television have ruined our understanding of financial markets. We are raised to believe that trading is a high-speed, adrenaline-pumping war zone where men in expensive suits scream into telephones and make millions of dollars in a matter of seconds. We expect action. The reality of professional trading is more like watching paint dry on a cloudy day. Amateurs suffer from an extreme intolerance to boredom. Society has deeply conditioned you to believe that if you are not actively doing something, you are not working. If you are sitting at your desk with your hands in your lap, doing absolutely nothing for 4 hours, you feel lazy, you feel guilty, so you start clicking buttons. You force a terrible trade simply because you want to feel engaged with the market. You pay a financial penalty just to feel like you are participating. Boredom is not a problem to be solved. Boredom is the ultimate indicator that you have finally found your edge. A real professional trader executes a highly repetitive, totally mindless checklist. They wait for a specific pattern. If it does not appear, they do nothing. They do not force it. They do not get angry. They sit there in silence. True success in the markets requires you to entirely disconnect your self-worth from your level of activity. Doing nothing is an active trading decision. It is often the most profitable decision you will make all week. But human beings hate doing nothing, so we click, and then we judge ourselves entirely by what happens next. This is the disease of outcome orientation. You judge the absolute quality of your trading entirely by whether a trade made money or lost money. This seems perfectly logical. You are here to make money. If the trade makes money, it was a good trade. If it loses money, it was a bad trade. This is a very confident mistake. The market is a random distribution machine. A terrible, reckless, entirely emotional decision can easily result in a massive winning trade. A perfectly planned, brilliantly executed setup can easily result in a loss. The market does not reward your effort, it just moves. When you break all your rules and make money, your brain gets deeply confused. You get a massive dopamine hit for doing the wrong thing. You are training yourself like a dog to repeat bad behavior. The market is paying you to learn how to blow up your account. Eventually, that bad habit will catch up to you when the luck runs out. On the flip side, when you follow your rules perfectly and the market takes your stop loss, you feel betrayed. You lose confidence in your system. You start changing your strategy. You must separate your emotional state from the financial outcome. Grade yourself entirely on execution. Did you wait for your setup? Did you place your stop loss in the right place? Did you manage your risk? If you did all of those things perfectly and you still lost money, you stand up from your desk and say, "That was a highly successful trade." Because it was. You followed the process. Over 1,000 trades, that behavior pays your mortgage. If you revenge trade out of anger and accidentally make your money back, that is a horrible, embarrassing trade. You must be disgusted with yourself for winning. But you are not disgusted, you are scared. And when you are scared, you look for friends. You enter a position. You buy a coin or a stock. It immediately drops 10%. Your heart rate accelerates. You do not look at the chart to see what went wrong. You do not check the higher time frame. Instead, you immediately open Twitter. You open Reddit. You log into a private chat room. You scroll frantically. You are looking for anyone, absolutely anyone, who is holding the exact same terrible position as you. You find a user named something ridiculous, a stranger you would never trust with your car keys, but he posts a chart saying the asset is about to bounce. You feel a massive wave of relief. You tell yourself you are just doing fundamental research. You are staying informed on market sentiment. You are lying to yourself. You are seeking a warm emotional blanket. You lack true conviction in your own trading system, so you are building an echo chamber. You are terrified of being wrong and alone, but being wrong in a large group of losing traders feels incredibly comforting. It is a shared trauma. This post-entry validation seeking is a silent killer because it makes you completely blind to objective reality. The market is screaming at you to exit the trade. The structure is broken, the volume is dead, but you ignore all the red flags because a stranger on the internet told you it was going to be fine. You outsource your risk management to a crowd of panicked amateurs. When you are in a trade, the opinions of other people are actively dangerous to your wealth. You must stand alone in the quiet. If you manage to survive all of this, if you follow your rules, manage your risk, sit on your hands, and ignore the noise, you might actually experience real success. You might hit a glorious 5-trade winning streak. Your account balance hits an all-time high. You close your laptop. You walk into the grocery store feeling like a financial deity. You look at the normal people buying milk, knowing you just made their monthly salary in 20 minutes. You are now in the most dangerous position of your life. This is the hangover effect. We are hyper-vigilant when we are losing. A losing streak makes us paranoid, cautious, and incredibly careful with our risk. But a winning streak breeds a lethal neurochemical cocktail of extreme dopamine and total arrogance. Your brain experiences recency bias. Because the last 5 trades were so easy, your subconscious mind fully believes the next trade is a guaranteed victory. Your perception of risk literally drops to zero. You stop checking the higher time frames. You skip half your checklist. You double your position size because you want to push your advantage while you are in the zone. The market does not know you are in the zone. You take a massive position on a mediocre setup. The market turns. Because you feel invincible, you refuse to take the loss. You move your stop loss. You hold the bag. In one single afternoon, you completely wipe out 2 weeks of brilliant, disciplined trading. You sit there in the dark, staring at a destroyed account balance, wondering who took over your body. The emotional residue of your last trade can never dictate the execution of your next trade. It does not matter if you just won $10,000 or lost $50. Every time you open a new chart, you must mentally reset to a strict, emotionless baseline. You are not a genius because you won. You are not a failure because you lost. You are just a person executing a math problem. The hardest part is knowing when to walk away from the problem. In every other profession on earth, more hours equal more output. If you dig ditches for 10 hours, you get a longer ditch than if you dig for 2 hours. If you study a textbook for 12 hours, you learn more facts than if you study for 1 hour. We are culturally wired to believe that screen time equals hard work. Trading violently inverts this rule. More screen time often equals less profitability. Your daily edge only appears a few times a week, or perhaps a few times a day depending on your strategy. Everything outside of those specific high-probability windows is pure, toxic noise. It is random algorithmic chop, designed to bait impatient traders into giving up their spread. When you sit and stare at moving candles for 10 hours a day, your brain degrades. You experience deep decision fatigue. You start suffering from pattern hallucination. Like looking at clouds and seeing shapes, you start seeing trading setups that simply do not exist. Your brain desperately wants a reward, so it tricks your eyes into seeing a breakout. You take the trade. You lose. You get angry. You revenge trade. You lose again. All because you refuse to close your laptop when the actual work was done. Protecting your mental capital is exactly as important as protecting your financial capital. If your system says trade the morning session, trade the morning session. When the clock strikes noon, shut the machine down, walk away, go outside, let the market exist without you. We try to control the market. We try to force it to give us money. We try to outsmart algorithms built by billionaires. But the only thing you actually have control over is yourself. You cannot decide if the next candle goes up or down. You can only decide if you will follow your rules when it does. The silent killers do not attack your bank account. They attack your patience. They attack your ego. They attack your human nature. Acknowledge your nature. Forgive yourself for having a brain that wants to survive. Then build the mental walls to keep that brain out of your trading account. It will be quiet. It will be boring. It will be incredibly profitable.